Before starting, please complete the prior tutorials and review this tutorial. For building messages, you may use Google Chrome or Mozilla Firefox, but Firefox handles images better. Using message library Scream, we will create a message that will include defining the text font, size, and colors, bulleted list, tables, images, image link, reserved words. Number 2, spam score analysis of message subject and content, message preview, generating HTML code, test drive the message, and number 6, creating personalized messages. Let me close this screen and jump to the message library screen. Here is the message library screen. Let's go to the new message and let's have the subject line as this and go to the message body. In the message body, let's enter this text. In here, first we will define the text we entered. We will define the text font, size, and then colors, and move on to the next steps. Let's first insert the reserved words here to make the message personalized. Go to the RW the way we did it before and pick up the prospect's name reserved word by navigating to the prospect name, and using the control characters we can define here the symbol for registered name or the trademark. So if we go anywhere here, R is the trademark, so officer becomes now R, reserved word officer campaigner, where we have the trademark. So that's how you can select the control characters. Let's define the text font, select the message, and you can also select this by selecting Control A, because you can use Microsoft Word like function keys here. From the font family, let's select Arial, and let's select the text size as number 12. And to centralize, select the benefits line and click on Align Center. That's the center justification. Since the whole thing is moved, which we don't want, so let's do Control Z for undo. And let us insert another line here as well as another line here, just to make sure we are only selecting the benefits line, and then center justify it. Using Control B or the B button, we can bold this text. Now for selecting the color, we want to mark it green. From this A button, select the green and it turns green. Let's go to the next line and insert the two lines for creating them as bulleted lines. Below the message, below the benefits, we will enter two lines. And also, since the screen is small, using the full screen toggle button, full screen mode, let's enlarge this screen. Now please note, when you enlarge the screen using the full screen icon, some of the functionality like the pop-ups may get affected. So if you've come across that kind of situation, just toggle it back, have the images or pop-ups, do your work, and then go back to the toggle. Now these two lines we need to left justify using the left justify icon, then define the font size, the font type to Arial, and also the font size to 12. And to bulletize, let's select these two lines, and here using this pick list you can use bulleted unordered list. You can use different types of styles, and you can also number them using the next icon. However, just to keep it simple, we click on this and these become bullets. You may see that the formatting, there are some extra blank lines coming. when you try it out, you may kind of remove some of the blank lines to make it look better. Now let's go to the next line, and we will enter here pricing. So let's enter the word pricing. Similar to bullets benefits, we will mark it green as well as bold it and center it. So first we select the fonts type, the size, the center, bold, and from the A button we select the green color, and then we go to the next line, and now is the turn for inserting the tables. Using the table icon, we can insert a new table, and before the table is inserted, in the properties, general properties, we select 2 columns, 2 rows, and the cell padding we don't select anything, cell spacing we don't select anything, alignment we can keep it center, and in the width we can select it 1, and also leave the rest of these as blank. So you see it's very faded, but this has been, the table with 2 rows and 2 columns has been selected. Inserted. Since the border is invisible of this table, to make the border visible, let's go back to the table properties and enter not the height but the border. Instead of 0, let's enter it 1 and update it, and now you can see the table has the borders visible, in which it has the border and the thickness of the border lines is 1. Let's now enter in these table cells OC1, and in the next one we will enter OC2. These are the values. You can enter your own values to play with these, and in column 2 record 1 we will enter number 15, and below we will enter number 45. Now to define the cell padding, let's again click on the table row properties, and in the cell padding define enter number 5. This will insert the padding on the left and right of the cells with respect to the borders, 5 padding on each side. Let's see the effect of it. Now if you see there is more gap in there in between the border lines and the text that's appearing. Now to increase the width of this table, just drag it. So to your comfort level, drag the sides, and the table size has adjusted. Let's select all these columns now, and select font type as Arial and font size as 12. So you see the effect of the font type and the size within the table. You can also try your own by defining the caption for this table, other properties, and so on and so forth. And tables, images, as I said before, work better. You have better control or better handling through the Firefox than the Chrome. However, you can do these operations with Chrome also. Now let's work on inserting an image. Before you insert an image using insert upload image, you got to first upload an image from your local folders, and then work on including the images or the videos in the message. As far as the videos and templates are concerned, for that we will address in one of the next tutorials. Now let's click on the insert upload, and I'll also show you here something, and you don't see the pop-up coming up because the screen is in the full screen mode. Now let's click on the full screen mode icon. It goes back to its normal mode, and now you can see the pop-up coming up, whereby the officer campaigner image has already been inserted, uploaded in the system. If you were to upload an image, you will select using the browse button from your local folder and then click on the upload. To close this, you will click on the close button next to the upload. The X may or may not work. We are working on this functionality right now. So to include this, wherever your cursor has been positioned, and you just click on this and the image will get inserted. Now if you see, it has been inserted on the top, which we don't want it. Let's do Control Z to undo this, and we will insert this at the bottom. Let's reinsert this image. Select it, and the image is right here inserted. You can also resize this image the way you want it, and also kind of center it, or whichever way you would want, either by this or just by dragging the way you want the position to be in, by clicking on any of these, similar to the way you use the other editing features. So anyway, make it left, and now we will include an image link, or we'll tie an image link to this image. For tying the link or linking to this image, let's select the image and click on Insert Edit Link icon. Enter the URL that you would like to see, and whether in the target, whether you would like to see it in the same window or in a new window. And if you want to define a title caption, you can do that just by typing it here. After you're done, insert it, and the image is now a link, and that we will see it in a short while. And almost at every step you do, just to be on the safer side, keep saving. Now you can enter, say, just to close it, thank you, and also using the reserved words, you can use any of these reserved words. Last time we used the sign signature, which brought everything together about your name, company name, and so on and so forth. However, you can also select here your company name, and maybe start with your name and hit enter, your company name, and maybe your phone number. However, when you practice, you can enter almost any of this information to see how the effect takes place. You can change the background of your signature or any text by selecting the background color, and maybe you can mark it as something like light gray. You can also insert here the I just copied it and pasted. For forwarding to friends, you can enter, even type in the reserved word, that is link for campaign package, LINK, surrounded by 3 number signs on the left and right. And on the next line, you can also design the way you want your unsubscribe. For example, if you wanna here, if you wanna insert something from the smileys, you can insert it here, and if you want to insert here from the smileys in the unsubscribe, you can insert in here, and after that you can go to the reserved words and select unsubscribe. So that way the system on its own, since you have inserted unsubscribe, the system will not include the default unsubscribe. And if you want to format this, you can format the way you want. You can color, font it, size it, and even color it the way you would want the text, or whichever way you would want it. And if you want maybe mark this as red color, you can mark this as red color. Also, if you would like, you can include above the thank you line another campaign package link. Pretty much you can use these reserved words the way you want it. You want them or to suit your needs any number of times and anywhere in the message. Now this concludes part 1 of our tutorial, and we will address the rest of the points, say point 2 onwards, in tutorial part 2.